What up, Kings? Hope you're well. In this video, I want to talk about how the supply chain complications are going to impact your ad campaigns, specifically in the e-commerce space.
America's supply chain under attack. Thieves brazenly breaking into a truck. A hooded criminal loading stolen items through a hole in a warehouse door. Flash mobs hitting trains. Driving away with this deli truck with the employee hanging on. Surveillance cameras capturing thieves inside a loading dock.
You guys know why this is happening, right? I'll tell you. People are struggling. If you're not struggling, you wouldn't understand what is happening. There are people in society that are not doing well at all. I mean, the jobs are not there. People are getting laid off. People get desperate. And when people get desperate, they do desperate things, such as robbing these freight trucks, these cargo trucks, so they can resell these items, these products, on the black market. This is what happens in a society. And as somebody who travels a lot, I have the privilege of having this perspective that a lot of you guys that are just stuck in one place do not have, which is when you're exposed to different economies. Currently, I'm in a completely different economy. I'm able to see why things end up the way they do based on my experience in a place like this one. There's a reason why if you go to New York City, all the essentials like deodorants are locked behind a cage or glass. Is because those items are easy to sell in the black market. They're in high demand on the black market. When an economy starts to fall apart like it is in the United States, there are people that make money off of stealing and then selling things on the black market. They got to survive. It is what it is. And it just makes the economy and things very complicated. Let me tell you why it makes things very complicated. If you have a product that you are selling online and the price continues to skyrocket due to inflation. So let's say something as essential as diapers. This is a perfect one. So I got two daughters. So I used to buy Pampers for like $36, the big one from Walmart. But this was like years ago, 5 years ago. But let's say the price shoots up to like $70. I'm not paying $70 when I know it used to be like $36 just 5 years ago. Hell no, I'm not doing that. So what's going to happen? Those guys in the hood are going to rob the Walmart trucks. And this is already what's happening. And then start selling these diapers on the black market, or even to guys like me. Yes, of course, I'm going to buy. Who doesn't want a good deal? I'm buying them because you got them for free anyway. He took a risk, of course, but he's going to sell them for $30. Meanwhile, Walmart.com and Amazon.com are selling them for $70. They can't compete with that, especially in certain markets. Yeah, you can get away with charging $70 in the rich neighborhoods, in the Hamptons or whatever, or South Beach, with the rich folks. They don't care because they don't feel it. $70 to them is like 70 cents. Something going from 35 cents to 70 cents doesn't really hurt that much if you're a multimillionaire. But to somebody who's surviving hand to mouth, check to check, they feel it. It's a big deal. It's a very noticeable shift. So they're buying everything on the black market. And remember something. These people are the majority. The people that are struggling are actually the majority. The minority are those people that are multimillionaires in Brickell, Miami. So that's going to affect your e-com campaigns dramatically. If you're selling Pampers at $70, that means only 500,000 of those rich people are going to consider buying it. The rest of the other 9.5 million or 10 million or whatever, they're not going to buy. So it doesn't matter how many impressions you're going to serve to these people. They'll never convert, ever. Inflation, cost of living is going to destroy a lot of ad campaigns. Unless marketers find new ways of navigating all of this that's happening, you're going to lose a lot of money. You know who's going to be gaining a lot of money? Google's going to get richer. Meta's going to get richer because you're going to be throwing them all your money, trying to get all these ad campaigns to convert, but they won't.
It's Grand Theft Cargo.
Open the door.
Merchandise ending up in black market stores where stolen goods are sold after being hijacked on their way to distribution centers and retailers. Police searching for more stolen items on another day, trying to make a dent in the cargo theft boom.
They can't. They can't beat this. I mean, right now, they can afford to do all of this, raiding all these black market warehouses. But over time, two things are going to start to happen. The city or the county that funds this police is going to get less and less tax revenue. Because remember, people are out of work now. Less and less tax revenue. And they're only going to be policing or worried about the rich neighborhoods. They're not going to care about Carroll City. They're not going to care about all these other poor neighborhoods. They're going to be like, all right, we don't have enough police to raid all these warehouses. So let's just focus on protecting our rich people and just isolate ourselves in our little bubbles. So eventually, the second thing that will happen is there's going to be more and more of these warehouses. So it's going to be nuts. They're going to flood the market, especially like the young people, the young gangsters that are out of work. There's no way you can beat them. People got to eat. Once you push people to a corner, it's going to be like the 1920s, like during the Prohibition, where they tried to stop booze. It's going to be possible. And also the other thing is, organized crime is so smart. They will make it look as if the whole operation is legit, and you'll never know. How are you going to know? You'll never know. They're very creative in the ways they're going to mask all of this so they don't get raided. It'll even come down to like bribing officials. Things are going to get crazy. You guys don't know. Life has been so sweet and comfortable in the United States for so long. We forgot what the hard times looked like during the 70s. Remember during the 80s? The United States during the 70s and 80s was a mess, okay? It was a total mess. You know, that's where all the biggest gangsters came out. In fact, if you look at most of the gangster movies that came out in the 2000s there, well, based on the 1970s and 1980s crime waves. You know, the crack era, the drugs, the cocaine, cowboys, and all this stuff was based all in that era. This new era that we're getting into, that we're already in now, this is going to be the era of the black market, fueled by inflation. And as marketers, we need to accept this new reality. And when you're navigating your Ecomm campaigns, I think there are two ways you could approach this. The first way you could approach this is by focusing on brand awareness and just accepting that if you don't change course in how you distribute your products, your products are going to end up in the black market. It's inevitable. It might be in your best interest to figure out a way to distribute your products at a price that matches the black market. If you can do that, you'll be good. There are different ways to do it. I don't know what your industry is. I don't know what your products are, but consider doing something like that. Some of the things that I see happening here in Africa are when a company or big brand comes up with a new product, let's say they come up with a new soda. Instead of them distributing that product through like the grocery stores, like the Walmarts of the world or whatever, they'll just reach out to the local hustlers in the neighborhood, you know, those guys that are unemployed, just sitting around. So instead of them getting into crime, these brands will approach them and say, hey, we got these products and we know you guys, you can sell them. If we give them to you on a consignment or on a good wholesale rate that allows for you to make a small profit, then by all means, here you go. We'll give you our products. So they end up getting a huge share of the market through these strategies, where they're just going directly to the hustlers in the neighborhoods. So what this means is you as the supplier, you're controlling the amount of volume that's on the streets. Because if you're not controlling the volume on the streets, that means you're going to be in big trouble. And your ad campaigns need to match that strategy. So this is another thing that happens here in Africa, where these same brands that are distributing their products directly to their consumers through the young hustlers in the streets, they will also go to the grocery stores that are in the rich neighborhoods. And there aren't that many, by the way. And then they'll put out like maybe 1% of whatever volume that they have, so that even if those stores get robbed, it's not a lot of products on the market to make a dent anyway. Unless these ad agencies make these kind of suggestions to the brands, or the brands make these suggestions to the ad agencies, then they're going to be in big trouble. I hope you guys got some value from this video. If you guys are interested in working with the best and coming up with strategies and tactics on how to run campaigns that will actually convert in 2025, then we need to talk. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Schedule some time. Talk to you soon.